Okay, so we are at Santee State Park in South Carolina, and we are taking a walk around the property right now. So we're gonna take you with us and tell you what we think.
Dad, come with us. Daddy, come on. Come on.
So we have a huge tent site here. 30 amp along with a couple 20 amps. So it's plenty for what we need. Campground's pretty wide open. Hardly anybody here. Well, actually that's not true. It's a very large campground. There's probably 50 people here. But everybody's pretty spread out, so pretty good. So over the weekend, the campsites filled up. Everywhere was full. It was great. But it's nice for the weekend campers to be gone. And we're back to being here by ourselves. As you can see, we're on the lake again. Don't yet know if that is on purpose or just a coincidence.
Not really on purpose, but not necessarily a bad thing.
So this lake, you have to go to the boat ramps to get into the water.
Yeah, there's kind of a drop off over here. I mean, I guess you could climb down, but if you're trying to get in like a boat, like a kayak or something, you definitely want to go to the boat ramps.
Yep. So when we got here in the middle of the week. It was
pouring rain.
Yeah, we were here for 2 days of the super big storm. There was probably 10 people total in the whole campground. There's over 180 sites here.
Yeah.
On this side of the island.
There was only one other site that was camping. Everybody else was in RVs.
Yeah. But yeah, no big deal. Then the weekend came and the entire place was full. Entire place was full. Every single site. And there were tons of tents and RVs on single sites.
Yep.
So they were full. But it's a really nice campground, laid out really well. The majority of the RV sites are 50 and 30 amp.
So the tent sites have 120 amp and...
No, the tent sites have two 20 amps.
Sorry. That's right, two, not one.
Yeah, they have
two 20 amps.
So the tent sites have 20 amp and there's two of them.
So there's 4 house plugs is what he's trying to say. And
then there's smaller RV sites that have a single 30 amp and 2 outlets on 20 amp. And then they have big RV sites which have 50 and 30 and 20.
Yep.
But
and you're gonna pay depending on what kind of power you're getting at your site.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
There's water on site. There is no dump at this one either, but there is a whole campground dump station.
Yes.
And this morning when everybody was leaving, it really wasn't that bad. It's laid out really well. There's a huge one-way road all the way around.
There was a line, but yeah, there was no congestion or anything because of it.
No, they were moving. The line just kept moving. So it wasn't bad. But
good. About the only complaint right now, well, I think we have 2. One is the branches here are falling constantly. And I don't know if that's just because we got here during a torrential rainstorm that lasted for 2.5 days, or if that's just normal. So we can't really speak to that, but...
branches are coming down on RVs and cars and trucks.
Yes, that's one complaint. And then the second is the sand. I mean, I know we're on the water, but I guess I didn't really expect sand to be that far back from the water's edge, because we didn't have that at the last site. It was rocks and seashells. So this is a bit different. It's a little bit harder to keep the tent clean.
A little bit more work.
But other than that, so far, I don't really have any other complaints. What are your thoughts?
No, it's nice and remote. We use Verizon as our main source, and there's 2 to 3 bars around the whole campground, so plenty enough to stream multiple things and for me to work.
Yeah, Jeremy was doing
as well as
remote work while all the boys were doing their streaming last night for school, so
there's enough.
No problems.
There's enough speed to do that. So there's a bike trail that goes between the 2 different sides of the island. We rode that. It's 7.5 miles. It's pretty easy trail. There are a couple water crossings and mud crossings, but it's
Very
lit up with a bunch of blue diamonds all over, so you can see it in the forest really well. About every 50 to 100 feet, there's another blue marker. But very easy trail, very fun trail.
It's too bad we didn't put our cameras on the first time we went.
But there's many hiking trails. You can get your boat out on the water. So there's multiple bathhouses here, and they come through every day and clean them. The campground host also goes around and puts up the tags and all the sites, so you know who's coming and going. And they also put out all smoldering fires if you don't do that yourself. When you leave, they'll come down with a water hose and put out the fire and stand up the fire pit so it doesn't collect rain. But all in all, this is a great campground. We like it. All right, guys, so we're about halfway done with our whole lap of the campground. We are enjoying our walk. It's pretty shaded here, but the sun's out. Boys are out on their bikes having fun. And we'll catch you in our next location.
On to the next adventure. Baby invader.
I just fired over a giant gum.